was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our...
The House chamber was full of emotion as Nicole Malliotakis and Lisa McClain spoke. They made it clear they could no longer watch the nation's values be ignored. This wasn't just another debate. It was years of frustration coming to the surface. The discussion about Ilhan Omar's removal wasn't about politics. It was about accountability and restoring honesty in government. For too long, some officials acted without consequences. This moment showed that integrity still matters and that leaders are expected to defend the country's principles. When Malliotakis and McClain spoke, they represented millions of Americans demanding respect and responsibility. Years earlier, Omar's comments about the September 11th attacks, calling it "some people did something," had hurt many. For families and first responders, those words reopened painful memories for many. The hearing was more than a vote. It was Congress affirming that America values respect, accountability, and remembrance, sending a message that the sacrifices of 9/11 and the nation's principles will never be forgotten.
Colleagues, the reasons why the Representative Omar should be removed from this committee, but I feel like all the reasons have not just yet been stated, which is why I rise to add for the record. We've heard about the comments that were made regarding anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli views, but I rise to add to the record that as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I've sat there and heard the representative actually spew anti-American rhetoric
When Nicole
as well.
Malliotakis spoke, she didn't sound like a politician. She spoke as a concerned American. Her voice was steady, strong, and filled with conviction. She raised concerns about Ilhan Omar's role on the Foreign Affairs Committee, noting remarks that undermined U.S. allies and questioned America's leadership. Malliotakis emphasized that Congress should never be used for personal agendas or divisive rhetoric. Her words honored what the flag represents: sacrifice, freedom, and unity. The chamber fell silent, not in disagreement, but in reflection. It was a reminder of what true leadership looks like: principled, firm, and focused on the nation.
I've been in that committee room where the representative equates Israel and the United States to Hamas and the Taliban. Absolutely unacceptable for a member of that committee. I've also heard the representative equate that it is the United States' fault that there is turmoil in Venezuela, that is not because of the oppressive socialist and communism that has spread throughout Central and South America and Venezuela at the hands of the Maduro and Hugo Chavez regimes. That is unacceptable. And as a New York representative, to hear the representative belittle, to try to diminish.
Then it was Lisa McClain's turn, a lawmaker known for her honesty and deep love of country. From the start, her frustration was clear. Not just with Ilhan Omar, but with a culture in Washington that had long overlooked accountability. McClain made it clear that a simple apology couldn't erase years of remarks seen as disrespectful to the nation. True leadership, she said, means owning your actions and standing by your principles, even when it's uncomfortable. She defended the Constitution and reminded Congress of the oath they took to protect it. Accountability, she stressed, isn't hostility. It's respect for the office and for the citizens they serve. Her words carried weight and silenced the chamber. McClain spoke a truth many had avoided. When public servants disrespect the nation, they diminish the privilege of serving it. Her message was firm and unifying, a call to uphold responsibility as the foundation of democracy.
The worst terrorist attack on United States soil on September 11, 2001, as some people did something, that is unacceptable as well. And I hold the same standard for this side of the aisle that I do the other, because when another colleague on my side said something about 9/11, I also voted to have her removed from the Education Committee because I thought that was inappropriate. So I'm being consistent here, and I hope my colleagues will do the same to show that this is about consistency and accountability.
The concerns about Ilhan Omar were serious and based on the congressional record. Nicole Malliotakis outlined moments that, in her view, showed a troubling pattern in Omar's words and actions. She noted that Omar had criticized America's global role in ways that strained alliances and minimized acts of violence. This wasn't about politics. It was about the responsibility every leader has when speaking for the country for too long. Such behavior had been dismissed, but the fact spoke clearly that day. Malliotakis and Lisa McClain stressed that their stand was about principle, not politics. Serving in Congress is a sacred trust, and ignoring that duty risks losing the public's confidence. Their message was clear: accountability and respect for America are essential.
Because we should not have an individual with those views on the committee that is tasked with representing our country and our Congress to foreign nations. I yield back.
The gentlelady yields back.
Gentleman reserves. Gentlelady from Michigan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And to use that logic, well, then all those people should have just said sorry and we'd move on, right? But no, we don't do that. And let me tell you, I take a little bit of offense to what the hell is wrong with me. I'll tell you, there's nothing wrong with me. I took an oath to defend the Constitution, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Again, I'm not going to apologize for it.
As the chamber prepared to vote, tension filled the room. When the gavel fell, Ilhan Omar was removed from her position. Her removal sent a clear message: Congress can hold members accountable, and integrity still matters. For many Americans, it was a rare moment of unity and renewed faith in the system. Nicole Malliotakis and Lisa McClain showed what public service should be: courageous, principled, and loyal to the people. That day reminded the nation that words and actions have consequences, and leadership carries real responsibility.
I'm going to hold the Constitution, and it's very simple. We really shouldn't even have this debate. If you break the law and you follow due process, there are consequences to your actions, even if you say sorry. So we can try all of the diversion tactics that we would like. It doesn't change the fact that someone broke the law and that someone should be held accountable.
Although Ilhan Omar's removal was a major turning point, Nicole Malliotakis and Lisa McClain reminded everyone that the work wasn't finished. Challenges remain in Congress, with voices that, in their view, continue to question America's values and unity. The goal wasn't to target one person, but to protect the spirit of the nation and restore trust in its principles. Their message was clear: this is about more than politics. It's about renewing pride in the country and standing for accountability. They urge Americans to support leaders who respect the sacrifices that built the nation and see the flag as a symbol of hope and unity, not division. For Malliotakis and McClain, this was a call to action for every citizen. Real change begins not just in Congress, but at the ballot box, with voters choosing integrity over rhetoric and service over ambition. As the day ended and the Capitol grew quiet, the moment's weight settled in. Omar's removal became more than a political story. It marked a cultural turning point, showing that courage, conviction, and accountability still matter in public life.
It is disappointing, Mr. Speaker, that their own party can't hold them accountable, that they have such hypocrisy. So with that, I yield 2 minutes to my friend from New York, Nicole Malliotakis.
Gentlelady is recognized for 2 minutes.
The aftermath of Ilhan Omar's removal sent a wave of reaction through Washington. Lawmakers who had stayed quiet now had to choose: stand for the nation's values or defend behavior many saw as inconsistent with them. The halls of Congress buzzed with reporters, and the tension was palpable. Nicole Malliotakis and Lisa McClain walked out with quiet confidence, not celebrating, but standing firm as defenders of principle. They had shown that Congress could act with integrity and unity. Across the country, Americans took notice. Some disagreed, others applauded, but nearly everyone was engaged. Veterans, first responders, and ordinary citizens expressed gratitude, relieved that their voices were finally heard. While some argued Omar had been unfairly targeted, many saw her removal as long-awaited accountability. McClain later admitted standing against political pressure wasn't easy, while Malliotakis spoke with deep emotion shaped by her New York upbringing and the memory of September 11th. Their conviction came not from politics or popularity, but from love of country and respect for those who sacrificed for it. Even after her removal, Omar insisted she had been treated unfairly, but her refusal to reflect on the impact of her words only widened the divide. For Malliotakis and McClain, this reinforced their belief that accountability requires acknowledging when one's actions cause harm, The vote itself became symbolic. Each yes represented a commitment to respect and unity. Each no showed hesitation to take a stand. Millions watching felt the historical weight. It wasn't just about one lawmaker, but about restoring responsibility in public service. The actions proved that real leadership comes from conscience, not polls or party strategy. Malliotakis and McClain reminded colleagues and citizens alike that leadership requires clarity, courage, and integrity, even when unpopular. Their examples sent a lasting message to future leaders. Truth and accountability still mattered. In the days that followed, reactions spread far beyond Washington. Ordinary Americans, independent journalists, and online communities amplified the moment, showing that the public recognized a rare display of conviction. Across the nation, people celebrated civic pride, accountability, and leadership. Veterans and families thanked the women for reminding the country that service in Congress is a duty, not a privilege. This movement wasn't about division. It was about unity and shared purpose. The removal of Ilhan Omar will be remembered not as partisanship, but as a moment when Congress rediscovered its responsibility to the people. Nicole, Malliotakis, and Lisa McClain didn't just influence a vote, they restored confidence in leadership and reminded the nation that integrity, respect, and love of country can still overcome division.